I was a very young man, and later, of course, I had occasion to meet him in Malawi when he was talking about going to school, and I persuaded him to remain as a member of the ZANU youth.
The time I heard of Comrade Tongogara's death, I was shocked, because Comrade Tongogara was a very good man to everybody in the party, starting from the Central Committee down to the last man in the party. Tongogara, the time he used to have some rallies with the party or with the ZANU forces, Tongogara was very disciplined, and he was teaching everybody in the party to be disciplined and to be cheerful.
I didn't meet Comrade Tongogara fashion, but I know him according to his deeds.
I can say he was such a generous man, which means he treated every man with the same equality.
Because I met Comrade Tongo at Shimoyo, he told me that all the ZANU forces, we must fight until we liberate our country. Everybody in Zimbabwe must fight until we liberate in Zimbabwe.
I know Comrade Tongogara is a commander, is a political commissar, and is a man who was involved in every activities of our struggle. I remember him several times when he used to visit us in the rear, in our camps, and also in the battlefield. As the ZANU forces knows him as a person who had the interests of the people at heart. I remember when he was talking to us, he was telling us, we are not fighting for our personal interests, but to liberate the masses.
Comrade Tongogara, to me, is the, fighter of Zimbabwe. He is the one who brought the freedom of Zimbabwe, because all fighters who came to fight in this country were either recruited by Comrade Tongogara or were assigned to come and fight here by Comrade Tongogara.
Wakaita kwakawadzana na former president Mugabe. Zvikanzi hazviti vana vaneta vanofanirwa uzokwidzwa ndege. Takatotengerwa nematiketsi yangu yekungoti pese panobhombwa apa ndinenge ndiripo. Ndatengerwa matiketsi kuti tiflye tozotorwa kuBeira. Comrade Tongogara akati hazviti. Unofanirwa kuenda neni because ndoda kunopekerwa madocuments angu andinofanirwa kuenda nawo kumusha. Saka finally zvikanzi ndirongopiwa time shoma tese tiri 3 kuti tinogeze todzokera futi. Can you imagine 2 days muri munzira uku maakunzi dzoka ina driver uya futi. Zvikanzi handi drive ino mwe munhu ndo drive kana driver wangu. The impression which is given, the Mozambicans have that record. The hospitals in Mozambique, BBC also interviewed us. They went to the scene that time. So there is no secret about this issue. I get so obsessed when people would want to bring out rumors, some accusations, innuendos that it was a planned accident, when it was an accident. We thought, we needed to rest, even to bath, at least to sleep for 2 days. Tongogara said, no, we have to go back. Mind you, the driver had driven for 2-3 days. So he said, no, I can't be driven by anybody. I want my secretary on me because she knows the documents that I would need to take with me to Harare. So that was the problem. So we drove. And we had problems on the way. You see, when something is to happen, you can see by the number of problems. We had tire punctures. We could not we had 2 punctures. So we went to a garage. We were told we were closed because they wanted to mend the tubes and whatever. We were told they were closed. We proceeded to Shai Shai. So in the morning, we proceeded in the morning. Then there was a river. We wanted to, of course, freshen up. So we went to that river, and you know, in his usual jocular way, Tongogara was saying, you know, if I die, then all of you are going to be cockroaches. That was normally his way of joking. He kept saying that, you know, but none of us paid attention. Until we got to Shai Shai, we wanted to eat, we were hungry, there was no food. Then we proceeded to some other small place, some small restaurant. Then we got some rice and some relish there. So this was around, I think, 10 o'clock, and it was very hot. We had driven, we were tired from driving to Maputo. So you could see after eating, we all were tired. I think even including the driver. So I don't know whether he slept. I don't know what happened that time, because we were all tired because we had eaten some heavy meal. And I still remember seeing this truck that was in front of us, but it had a trailer on it. So it was traveling right in the middle of the road. So he tried to hoot, and finally he had to give way. But the trailer it had a trailer. So I think the trailer is the one, because it was joined by some wires. So the way it turned blocked the driver who had accelerated to overtake. And just the side that Tongogara was sitting went and hit a corner of that trailer. And we were 6 of us in that car. Yes, we were 6 of us. 3 were sitting in the front, 3 were sitting at the back. And so Tongogara died instantly, because, you know, the impact where he was sitting is and you know, a corner can have such impact. So it hit where Tongogara was sitting, because it was accelerating to overtake. So the side that he was, and the driver was thrown out of the car. So you can imagine, it was at a steep place. The truck moved this way, and our car, without a driver, just went straight and overturned. And when it overturned, there were some Mozambicans who were on the side. What I remember from that time, I could hear Tungamirai, Comrade Josiah Tungamirai. He cried, but I think some people also warned him to say, no, we have some people unconscious, don't cry, because he had discovered Tongogara had died.
After the agreement on the ceasefire, we decided to rush down to Maputo and to the front to explain to the comrades what had taken place in Lancaster. So it was really a question of rushing at a great speed, because we had not yet been given, the British didn't agree to us to give us a lot of time. So finally we landed in Maputo on the 25th, and we prepared everything there, because Comrade Nongo had arrived from Chimoyo, and we gave him all the details of the ceasefire. And you told him that he was the first to come to Salisbury, leading a group of about 20 comrades. And I and Comrade Tongo had to rush to Chimoyo with immediate effect. So we left that evening. Early in the following morning, as we were going on, we reached the town of Mashishe. Then, after traveling for about 63 kilometers to Mashinga, suddenly we saw a truck in the front, but as usual there were trucks which we were passing up and down. Then we passed that truck as we were traveling in the front. Then after 5 minutes drive, we couldn't see the Land Rover which was coming behind us, as we were the reconnaissance group. So comrades asked me if we could stop and find out what had happened to the Land Rover. So we turned back, and only to see the big truck still standing still on the road. We wondered what had happened. To look behind, we couldn't see the Land Rover. We dropped down, we came out of the car, then suddenly we saw the Land Rover just 500 meters from the road.
Rori iroro ranga riri zirori zihombe rine trailer. All I remembered was rori rakaramba riri pakati perodi. Parakazobuda uyo achiita huti achida kuita overtake that lorry. Trailer rakano bloka uyo aita accelerate kuti aende. Pakazara vanhu vekumozambique masaidi. Saka inini handina kuziva kuti comrade Tongogara washaya. But vanhu vaiuya vachindinyepera wana the late Kangai vachiti comrade Tongo uri right. Waitotya kuti pamwe ndino collapse. Ndakazotoziwa after a month.
He died when I was with him. When the Land Rover went into the bush, it was myself, first person who went and opened the door where Opamuchinguri and also others with the Tongogara. It was me who opened that door. The door had smashed and went quite some distance into the bush. And when that happened, I was the one who opened that door. And the intestines were still breathing when I opened because of the damage, the impact that had happened. And as I said, the time will come when others are there, and perhaps those who may want, who are still surviving, that we can put the record straight.
Well, we got the request the day after the ceasefire. I can assure you, a very nervous situation. And was flown down in the governor's personal aircraft and was met by Dr. Herbert Oshiwakonza and taken straight to a hospital in Mozambique, in Maputo, and where I examined the body of Tongogara, and my findings were that the injuries were due to road traffic accident, and it was multiple injuries, and there is no doubt in my mind that there was no foul play, absolutely no foul play, and all these stories about him being assassinated with bullet holes and everything being in the body, it is absolutely untrue.
Ndakambonyora book on this story. Ndandisingazivi kuti handibvumirwi. Vanhu vacho vakafa havo, ndingangochitaura izvozvi. Ndakanyora book nestory dzacho. Ndakasamonwa naformer president nemasoja akapfeka vamujuru navazvina vachena vatungamirayi vakapfeka mauniform. Munongoona kuti zvinohlisa zvakadii. Wanyora bhuku ndikazi ndipe bhuku kunosarenda. Ndakabva ndasarenda.